Zaire strain, not the other less harmful strains like the Thai forest strain from Ivory Coast or the Sudan strain. It struck very close to this iron mine tract, the Simandou tract in Guinea. And then that was the tri-border area of Guinea, Sierra Leone, and Liberia. And it didn't take long for it to cross that very porous border and then hit major metropolitan areas, the capitals of Liberia, Monrovia, and also Freetown, the capital of Sierra Leone. The only other time there was an outbreak in a metropolitan area was in Libreville, the capital of Gabon, in 2002, but that was quickly isolated. So this is the first time we've seen Ebola hit major metropolitan areas, Monrovia and Freetown, which allowed it to spread first to Nigeria, to Lagos, and also then to Europe and the United States.
From your research, do you think it is a souped-up strain, or are they just letting it spread? And then B, why are they letting it spread? Clearly the default is let it spread, not just in Africa, but here. What's happening?
Well, it's amazing. I think there may be some truth to the fact that this was yet the use of Africa, not as a petri dish like they used Zaire to just test it out on a human population in '76, and then we had outbreaks periodically in Zaire and the neighboring Republic of Congo after that. But I think this is basically this has destroyed basically the public health infrastructures of Guinea, Sierra Leone, and Liberia. A number of government workers have died from Ebola, and we even have heard the leaders of those countries say that it's going to have a long-term effect.
Sure, clearly they use Al-Qaeda to destabilize the Middle East. They use Ebola to destabilize countries that aren't giving all the resources up for nothing. And they have major newspapers with virologists saying it's been cooked up, and then our media makes fun of it. When Africa's been hit by secret biological testing, it's been declassified. It's like your next-door neighbors robbed you once, you get robbed again. They're the main suspect. You'd have to be insane not to think it could be staged.
This hour brought to you by InfidelBodyArmor.com. When it hits the fan, don't be left without the body armor that will save your life. With prices starting at just $374.99 and ships free. Get yours at InfidelBodyArmor.com. Just won't quit.
Hi, Ted Anderson with Midas Resources. Is it time to convert paper 401ks and IRAs to solid gold and silver yet? Get our 10 Reasons book free. Call 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
You've forgotten to monitor BlockItPocket.com, haven't you? Oh, how quickly we forget. BlockItPocket wants you to know that they never forget. You have a right to use wireless technology, privately and safely. So go now and monitor BlockItPocket.com's complete line of custom-designed and American-made products. BlockItPocket.com. Enhance your health and privacy in a wireless world. It's here, only at BlockItPocket.com.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
I'm watching and waiting for the right time to take everything you own. I love a dark house.
Don't be the next victim of a break-in. Go to faketv.com and discover a device that creates the illusion someone is inside watching TV and makes your home unappealing to would-be thieves.
Don't these people ever leave?
Starting at $24.95, and there's free shipping. Go to faketv.com or ask for it at your local hardware store. Fake TV, the burglar deterrent.
On September 30th, 2014, the first confirmed case of Ebola appeared in the U.S. This, combined with several other unidentified viruses, have some of our customers at 30dayfoodsupply.com concerned about the safety of our domestic food supply, resulting in a surge of our $99 90-serving kits. While we at 30dayfoodsupply.com have no expertise in epidemiology, we are aggressively purchasing raw materials that are currently in stock, and we intend to continue to sell our 30-day non-GMO emergency food supply for only $99 as long as we can. Oregon Trail Foods and 30dayfoodsupply.com keep prices low by buying directly from the producers in Oregon and then pass the savings on to you. Call 541-229-0010 and purchase our 30-day, 90-day serving emergency food supplies for only $99, and $10 ships your entire order to the lower 48. Visit our website at 30dayfoodsupply.com or call 541-229-0010. 541-229-0010.
Go to the right-hand side of drugsreport.com. You can see our article, easiest way to find it. Pentagon says Ebola strike team does not violate Posse Comitatus. Military argues Posse Comitatus is irrelevant and dangerous. For Eddie in New York, who's holding, and Lona, and Charlie, and Daniel, and Sean, we're going to get to all of you coming up with Wayne, who'll be with us 20, 30 minutes into the next hour. So you can make your point and get Wayne's comment on it, riding shotgun here with us. His website is WayneMadsenReport.com. You can also get his latest book, The Star and the Sword, on the NSA and more. Just a great journalist, great researcher. You want the real skinny, WayneMadsenReport.com. Of course, our sites are Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. And the system's doing everything it can to delist us on Alexa, blackball us on Google News, take our White House petition down that was very serious about banning Liberian and West African flights that other countries have done. They are really trying to censor us. It's not working. They see us skyrocketing in our internal numbers. And so they're trying to really put the brakes on what we're doing. Because people don't believe in the system anymore, and we're talking about real meat and potatoes issues here. Not dumbed-down, fake left-right garbage. To mainstream media people at International Business Times and others, CBS News, you name it, making jokes about us saying, you know, this could be a bioweapon, this could be on purpose. When you do that, when it's even in BBC News, this has gone on, and it appears to be, and you've got government leaders in Africa with real scientists saying this, you sign on to that evil. This isn't funny. It isn't funny to just sign on and say, oh, there's none of this going on. Wayne, what do you make of the Pentagon? Again, the troops themselves I find to be very awake and great people, and the veterans, but the direction of it, the militarization, the military operating domestically, they had a general come out and say, you know, Posse Comitatus doesn't exist, basically. That's a very arrogant statement. What's your take on that, Wayne Madsen? Then we'll go to break, come back and take calls.
I'm always suspicious anytime anything involves Northcom, Northern Command, because when Northcom was first formed after 9/11, my take on it was directly a violation of Posse Comitatus. And the mere fact that Obama's reacted to Ebola, both in this country and in Africa, by marshaling up military resources, when you look at Cuba, that is sending very good doctors, and they're known for their very good doctors, they're sending doctors to West Africa, and we're sending AFRICOM troops and supplements over there. And I just don't understand how you're going to defeat Ebola with a military force, especially when you realize that Ebola and these other hemorrhagic viruses have all been basically tampered with and spliced and
by the Army.
Fort Detrick, by the Army, yeah. The Army Command Biological Warfare activity of Fort Detrick, Maryland.
Yeah, it's the Army that's the master of this, and probably there to monitor and probably pull blood and mutations off of, and of course the troops are being given a few hours. It said, I think, 5 hours of biological training before they do this. I mean, that sounds like a recipe for disaster to me.
Yeah, it just takes one person over in West Africa to forget to wear their suits, their hazmat suits, because they're hot anyway. Even if you wear them in a temperate climate, you can imagine what they're like over in a place like West Africa.
Or you've got to get out of them and decontaminate. That's usually when you end up getting it.
And it takes one of them to come back to the United States and serve as yet another vector for a possible future outbreak.
And now it's lasting 41 days. I mean, this is incredible.
It's mutating. It's mutating. We're told that by WHO people, that it's mutating.
Wayne Madsen, stay with us. We'll come back and talk about that. Take phone calls, air John Bound special report. Tell your friends and family, tune in right now, folks. This is important.
This is GCN, the Genesis Communications Radio Network.
From the water table to our soils to the atmosphere itself, our world is becoming more and more toxic each and every day. But it's not just the air outside that's toxic. Indoor air has been shown to have 2 to 5 times higher concentrations of pollutants than even outdoor air. And most Americans spend 90% of their time inside using toxic chemicals within their homes. There are more than 42 million smokers in the United States. Well over 1,000 types of mold and mildew linked to numerous conditions. And don't forget the fact that 6 million Americans live with pets they're allergic to as well. When I began to research these statistics, it was clear to me it was time to start cleansing my lungs in order to combat the toxic environment that we cannot escape, but that we can fight back against. Made with organic and wild cultivated herbs and manufactured in the USA, the new InfoWars Life Lung Cleanse is here in a convenient spray bottle that can be brought with you throughout any toxic environment. Now available exclusively at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139.
You're listening to The Alex Jones Show.
Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Wayne Madsen's our guest, former NSA official. Great mind on every angle here to give us his commentary and analysis. We're going to go to Eddie, Lona, Daniel, Sean, Charlie, folks that have been holding patiently. We're going to start going to you right now. Then we're going to get into a new report on the fact that now it's incubating up to 41 days in the body, 70 in the testicles. I mean, this is bad because then they can just spread, and you don't know they got it, folks. This is a nightmare scenario, how long this stuff lives. Eddie in New York, you had a point earlier, but we went to break. So restate what you were saying and get Wayne Madsen's take on it.
Yes, sir. No, I was just saying is that they have set up so many nails in place to drop the hammer that they have all these fail-safes set up, such as Russia, crisis in Ukraine, ISIS, Ebola, and to actually know where they're going to drop the hammer is kind of hard to say. But they have all these nails set up in place, so this way, if one fails, they can drop it on this one, or they can drop it on that one. And it's a lot harder for them since 9/11. Excuse me.
No, I agree with you. I mean, it's a lot harder for them to stage something where they can really get caught, where they run the whole thing themselves. It's easier to just use a crisis that's either already there or that's easier for them to hide that they're behind to then pose as the saviors. Wayne Madsen, look at who they chose, this Al Gore minion, who's always presides over divvying up any crisis, divvying up the billions to insiders. No medical training, no intelligence training, no military training. And then Obama golfs all day and doesn't even have Ebola meetings. What's it look like to you?
Well, Ron Klein is a Washington fix-it man. He's, he was the guy that led the Gore operation in Florida when we had the contested election in 2002. I mean, I'm surprised. Where is the Surgeon General in this? I know there's not a confirmed Surgeon General. The Senate has dragged its feet on confirming Obama's pick, but there's got to be an acting Surgeon General. I mean, where is somebody like C. Everett Koop, who was in the front of another disease that looks like it was traced back to CIA Petri dishes of the 80s, and that was HIV/AIDS. Also decimated Africa's population, and the first people that actually brought it to the Western Hemisphere were Cuban troops fighting against CIA proxies in Angola that were infected when they got back to Cuba. And then, of course, we had the Mariel boat lift, and, well, we know the rest of that story, how it spread over here. But anyway, Klein is a typical Washington fix-it man, and he's a PR flack. So, just a few days ago, we heard that a lady on a shuttle bus at the Pentagon was heading down to the Marine Corps Commandant's change of command ceremony at the Marine Barracks on A Street in downtown D.C., and she started projectile vomiting. And then she said she had just been in West Africa. Well, we see what happens when you bring a guy like Klein on board. They said, oh, that